Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to be doing a nice relaxing instrument approach. Why am I trailing black smoke? What's going... Uh-oh. 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 What's going on with that engine? Oh no! It's on fire! Engine fire, engine fire, engine fire, engine fire, secure the engine, secure the engine, secure the engine. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Get that alternator offline, kill that thing immediately cut any fuel to it. Let's see, we're gonna have to cover cabin pressure air shut off. We're gonna have to turn pilot air on, make sure the heat is shut down. Oh geez, this is not a good day for this. I'll go ahead and choke it as best we can. Well, that's a problem, because we kind of needed that engine for this flight, which is going to make things a little bit interesting for us, because now our secondary engine, we've got that warning. I appreciate the fact we get this. Oh boy, there goes the alternator on that side. Oh boy, oh boy. I'm going to relax. We're going to get this plane safely on the ground. Let's do it. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and find myself the nearest airport. Fortunately, of course, this aircraft has a very simple unit for that particular purpose. If I were to go ahead and play with my navigational pages real quick, I could get myself the nearest. And we're going to pick one that we know that we can use. So I'm going to go ahead and right-click on this unit, come on down here, and see if I can find myself something that looks good. Hartford looks pretty good to me. That's pretty close, but I'm a little nervous because I'd rather have something that gives me a little bit more precision. Bradley, that looks pretty good to me. Press my direct arrow, press my enter, and it looks good. Go ahead and pop us off the nearest page. I'm going to go pop this one real quickly here. Head over to navigation, and sure enough, there is our new destination. We were going to be doing Pittsfield today, but today we're not. So we've got a lot of problems we have to worry about right now. First of all, we have one engine that works perfectly fine, and now we have to worry about things like drag. We also have to worry about the fact that this lovely engine, even though it continues to turn, could potentially have nasty fires on the inside of it that could cause some problems. You'll notice what we did there. We promptly closed all forms of systems, and the other thing we actually should do immediately is actually dump the cabin pressure off, something I've already taken care of. And the big thing is just isolate any smoke that this engine's going to be producing from the rest of the cabin and get us on the ground quick. So we need a landing approach, and we need one fast. So conveniently, like I said, Bradley just happens to be up ahead. This is today's real world weather. So let's go ahead and see what we have for approaches. We'd be calling on the radio, letting everybody know that we've got a bit of a problem today. Of course, if we really want to scare the bejesus out of everyone, there we go. That'll do the trick. We'll go ahead and hop to this one. Let's see what we have. ILS 33. That sounds pretty good to me. We're just going to take vectors because we don't have time. Let's see here. Well, vectors is pretty good. That doesn't really help, though. Back to that. Enter. Oh, we'll go down to ILS 33, press that one. Vectors looks good to me. We're going to go ahead and activate that immediately. I do not care. One thing we can do, though, is we can get all our frequencies all set up, and I can see this aircraft is actually already too high. All right, let's go ahead and take manual control. When you are running on one engine on a light plane like this, keep in mind we are not operating, this is no jet, this is nothing along those lines. So a lot of the really nice tweaks and advantages that we have with the jet aren't ours. The big one is the fact that that extra engine that we have just makes things a little bit harder for us to actually use. Because if we add any thrust, it's going to make the nose go like this on us, which is tricky. So one of the things we know with this aircraft is we have a blue line. That is my minimum controllable speed with one engine out. That's about 150 knots. If I go below that speed, it's going to make this aircraft tremendously difficult to fly safely. We could actually spin, so we have to be very mindful of that. So what I'm doing here is I'm basically losing some altitude. We're very close to the actual approach itself here. So basically I'm just going to execute it, take over flying by hand. And one of the things I'm doing is I'm going to start bringing in as much trim for that engine as I can. Remember, any power changes or anything like that is going to result in that asymmetry, which we're trying to avoid as best we can. There we go. We're just going to let the nose kind of come down. Normally we'd be trailing big, nasty black smoke, which would make things very interesting for us. All right, we are now on the localizer just like that. We're going to go ahead and hold off on the gear as long as possible. The reason we're going to be holding off on the gear naturally is because if we bring those gear down, it's going to create drag. We really need to wait on anything that creates drag for us into the last possible second here. All right, so we're good on the localizer. I'm going to start backing some power out. So we're keeping our speed up much higher than we normally would. And again, the whole purpose of that is for the purposes of making it a little bit safer for us. All right, there we go. Bring that nose up a little bit. Again, I'll switch to IFR vision here so you can kind of see what's going on as far as my needles and everything goes. All right, we're about 5 miles to go to the end of the runway. We are right on glide slope. We are a little bit to the right. Again, relax, one step at a time. Remember, aviate, navigate, communicate in that order. And we're just going to get this aircraft under control. And then again, save the gear. Save the gear. There's a lot of drag with gear. It's just a matter of safely getting us down right now. So my speed's about 140. That's very high for an approach for this particular aircraft, but we're doing it just because all that air rushing over that burning engine is going to help put that thing out, which is good for us. All right, we've definitely got a bit of a crosswind today, but that's perfectly fine. And we're on glide slope, we're on localizer. At any point, of course, I could have the automatic pilot take over to make this a little bit simpler, but it's one of those things. And again, I'm trying to give myself a little bit of margin above that minimum controllable speed. We've got to be careful here. There we go, right there. Now we have 3 miles to go. This is a good time to go ahead and bring down the landing gear, and we'll look out the window. All right, there is our runway. Excellent. Again, I'm going to hold off on the flaps. Reduce the amount of drag you have for as long as possible. Now, this landing is going to be a sideways landing, because, again, that dead engine on that side is, again, not doing a good job. All right, we're getting a little dangerously close to that MCA. That minimum controllable speed is a very real thing in the real world, not so much in the sim. All right, about 120 knots. We're very fast. Looks like we got the runway made. I'm going to bring in that one click of flaps. See how fast it slows us down? Remember, there was only one click of flaps. Okay. Now remember, when you reduce your throttle, the plane is going to suddenly jump to the opposite direction. Keeping that speed up. We're at no throttle. Since there's no asymmetry, you can do whatever you need as far as speed goes. We're going to be very quick over this runway. You can see that extra drag we're getting. There we are. Just gently. Just gently. Just gently. We're going to go ahead and gently set down on one side. Remember that part of the wing may be weakened. All right, we're on the ground. We're going to go ahead and hold the brake back and pull, actually, brakes down, stick towards you. You want to go ahead and get as much braking force as you can. And the important thing here is make sure you get out of this airplane. Any fire is a bad fire. Just because we cannot see it does not mean that it is not there. So the next thing we would do, of course, is bail. And, of course, before you want to bail, what you normally would have done is, of course, kill the key, kill the master switch, and doing all those things. But as you can see, we made it. We were able to put everything together quickly. We eliminated one problem at a time. We kept our speed up. We were able to secure the fire. Everything was muscle memory, and you can see just how well that worked. Enjoy.